52% of people who play video games are women, so why are there so few female characters in games?
With this sort of audience, why are there only 24% of game designers who are women? Women always draw the short straw when it comes to character design, but increasingly, this is a changing trend. We have more strong female characters in games than ever before. Take Ellie from The Last of Us, a tough young girl who struggles to survive in a post-apocalyptic world. But isn't she only playable for a short section of the game, and in the DLC?
The female Commander Shepard from Mass Effect, also known as FemShep, was only acknowledged by the packaging of Mass Effect 3 in reversible cover art, and was excluded from all other promotional art and merchandise.
What about Lara Croft, the hardened, cheeky adventurer who was only allowed to be a more rounded individual after she had built an empire? Women in video games seem to just be scantily clad, sexy side characters. This is a changing trend, but a trend that is slow to relinquish its hold on the video game industry.
One of the least represented minority in video games are women of colour. In video game history, there have only been a total of 14 playable black women, with only 2 of these characters coming before the year 2000. And out of these 14, only 5 of those women could be considered the main protagonists and not partner characters.
Male people of colour don't exactly have it easy either. 85% of game characters are white, despite studies reporting that African Americans and Hispanics play and buy games more often than white players. Kingdom Hearts, my favourite game franchise, only has 1 black character in its 7 games. Who was this character? His name? Pirate A, a forgettable, generic enemy from the Pirates of the Caribbean world. However, that's not to say he's the only character who isn't white, right? Well, yeah, I guess if you don't count the characters who have let darkness erode their hearts, which in turn causes their skin to darken. That's right. If you let darkness into your heart, you slowly turn black. Strong characters of varied races attracts a greater audience and makes all players feel welcome. Isn't it time developers started including them more often?
While we're on the topic of making players feel welcome, LGBT characters are a rare find. Many gay or trans characters are often stereotyped and the subject of ridicule. Many LGBT characters were actually censored in certain countries. Nintendo of America has changed a number of gay and transgender characters from their Japanese games. Vivian, a character from Paper Mario, is a transgendered woman, identifying as female despite other characters claiming that she is male. But Sahara, a traveling carpet and wallpaper salesman, and Gracie, a celebrity fashion designer, are male in the Japanese versions of Animal Crossing, yet changed to females in the American and European versions.
Tomodachi Life, a Nintendo life simulation game, only allows opposite-sex flirting in relationships. When questioned about their decision to not allow gay relationships, Nintendo stated that they never intended to make any form of social commentary with the launch of Tomodachi Life.
Representation for transgender people is equally tough to find in gaming. Both Danganronpa and Persona 4 managed to blunder transgender representation. And one of the most famous transgender video game characters, Poison, from Final Fight, is empowered but blatantly over-sexualized. Characters and stories like this reinforce the harmful idea that transgender women only have societal value in their sex appeal.
Samus Aran, the protagonist from Meteoroid, was stated as not being a woman, but a new half, a 90s term for transgender.
Many games, however, do get the representation of gay characters right. Ellie, from The Last of Us, was revealed to be a lesbian in DLC Left Behind, leading to the delight of many fans who are ecstatic to be represented in such an amazing game. Borderlands is chock full of gay and bisexual characters, such as Athena, Torque, Moxie, Hammerlock, and Janie Springs, to name a few.
Games have come a long way from their humble origins, and have flourished into a diverse medium that is taking the world by storm. While games may have not gotten representation right, games as a whole are moving towards more inclusivity, especially as their target audience grows ever more diverse. It's great to see games include people of all genders, races and sexualities in their games, and it leads many to be hopeful that this is not just a trend within some game companies, but a permanent fixture here to stay.